Good morning. I'm Malcolm Nance.
San Antonio.
This is Black Man Spy. You are now present and available for the U.S.-Iran Warcast / geopolitical cast, day 80 by our count. We count from the day combat operations started at high noon Iran time, which was like 4 a.m. our time on the East Coast on February 28th. And that's when it began. And we are counting those days, not the Trump days of when they notified Congress, right? Or up to the ceasefire. Those are fake days. This war has been going on nonstop, even though there has been a ceasefire, for 80 days. Just 10 days away from the 3-month war that was supposed to only go a couple of weeks to 4 weeks. Interesting how that works.
Yeah. But now they'll change the name of the operation, so it's a whole different war.
Well, we'll talk about that. We actually spoke about that while you were out watching soccer games last week. Let me introduce my co-host, Jacob Kaarsbo, Danish intelligence officer extraordinaire, Middle East expert. Wajeeh, the gay lion from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And, usually we give people an opportunity to come up, so we have some light banter, like we're an AM talk show. I'm not showing my legs under my skirt, gentlemen, whatever you say. Even though, and before you say, well, actually, I have very good legs because I'm a runner. And I own I own 3 kilts. Yeah, I do. I have a multicam combat kilt. I have a U.S. Navy tartan, which is what you wear in Scotland, and I have a Ukraine Forever tartan kilt. So I can, in fact, sit here with a skirt on if I had wanted to, and I'm just not going to wear the high heels though for our morning show. But hey, as long as we're here bantering. Jacob, what kind of coffee cup you rocking? An IKEA special?
Well, this summer house batch, non-IKEA, whatever it is, coffee cup.
Okay.
I'll be back home on Monday, so...
I have my traditional Italian Illy coffee cup, which I can get 2 double espressos into this thing. And it makes me, because things are so sucky back here in the United States, I just close my eyes and pretend I'm in Piazza San Marco in Venice and I'm being charged 15 euros for this coffee, which is $17. Still the most expensive double espresso I've had in the world. I can tell you the both of them. Piazza San Marco, 10 euros, right? That's about $13 for a single espresso. But I was sitting at the tables in Piazza San Marco. You remember in Venice where all the pigeons were there. And back then the pigeons were there before they slaughtered all the pigeons with poison, right? So that's where I had my most expensive coffee cup. My second most expensive coffee cup I had at still reigning champion for France is Café de la Paix next to the Opera, the Garnier in Paris. And that was a 9 euro single espresso. Some people out there, funny thing is, I have not been to the Grand Palais in Monaco because I wasn't going to risk it. I wasn't going to risk that I was going to have a 25 euro single shot espresso. But they give me a lemon twist, right? That's what I'm missing.
Wonderful.
Where's my lemon twist? I got to put that on my grocery list here today. Hey, Wajeeh, what cup are you drinking out of?
I'm drinking tea today, and most importantly, I received your cookies. That's why I'm drinking tea.
Whoa. You had a box of stuff. Why don't you show us everything you got in the box?
I can't grab the whole box. I only have one hand, so I grabbed one thing.
Bring the box, dude. We shipped this box. We carried this stuff back from England, then to Canada, then to New York, then mailed it out to Wajeeh to save him Donald Trump's tariffs. and got it faster, right? Sent it by UPS or USPS. And Wajeeh got an entire gift box from England via Canada and the United States. And he's like, I can only grab the cookies. I see where
he's gone now.
see where his focus is. His yeah, well, good. Because it's a pretty good box. And he's giggling at this. Oh, did you actually not open it?
No, I did.
You saw the cookies, all right? And
I got
what's this? Your coffee mug, a new coffee mug, Paddington. Paddington Bear, because we said Wajeeh's just a cuddly little old refugee bear himself.
Oh no, and it also comes.
That's right. So when you're drinking it, you can look at the PB and think, I'm just like Paddington. I'm a poor bear. I'm a poor bear. What else is in the box? You got cookies, you got Cornish bearings, right?
2 different. And then you sent a ginger biscuit.
Oh, that's the Royal National Lifeguard ginger biscuits that we got from, in England. They don't have a Coast Guard. Everything's volunteer. The Royal National Lifeguard Institute goes out and they're in every port and they go zooming into the water to rescue you. And they have this little shop and those are their ginger stem biscuits. Boy, from the RNLI.
Really? That's what this is.
And it's from Port Isaac. If any of you have seen the TV show Doc Martin on PBS, that is Port Isaac. And the TV show was called Port When. And that RNLI shop is about 25 meters, maybe 75 feet from the Doc Martin's surgery in the TV show, Doc Martin.
Oh, look at this. Thank you. Your purchase saved lives.
You are. And right there, maybe 30 feet away is the actual lifeboats that they have and the ramp that goes in the water. And these guys go out and rescue people without, they're like our Coast Guard, only they're not paid. Somebody loves Doc Martin. Dawn loved Doc Martin. You got to go to Port Isaac. It's a beautiful place.
If you like Doc Martin, then you should know about Soul of Air, which is the original producer of Doc Martin.
Oh,
and then what is this?
Look at it. You got, what is that? Welsh Dragons.
Welsh. Oh, the Welsh.
Welsh Dragons. We got this in Port Marion for you, which is this beautiful, idyllic resort that was built in post-World War I by a British Army colonel who wanted a place for guys with PTSD. And he rebuilt Portofino, Italy, in Wales, and all the buildings are colorful. The garden, it's over 100 years old. The gardens are incredible. And every year we have that prisoner conference up there because the TV show from 1968, The Prisoner, was filmed in Port Marion. That's Portmerion, if you want to go check it out. And it's incredible place, Port Marion. So we got you some Welsh Dragons from Port Marion because we were in Wales. I think they're chocolate dragons, so.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the picture, I opened the box and it was all mumbled up into one piece.
Is it? Oh, I'm sorry. But it's the thought that counts. Hey, those dragons went from Wales, northern Wales, right? Just literal tippy-toppy of Wales, all the way down to Cardiff. From Cardiff all the way down the Cornish coast to Penzance, Land's End, all the way back to London, flown to Montreal, all the way to New York State, into a goddamn box and mailed to you. So I'm sure if you take a hammer to them, you can break up some individual Welsh dragons.
This is what it's supposed to look like, everyone.
You know what it looks like? Delicious.
I have a super important question about Wales.
A hammer and a cup of coffee and that will solve all your problems with that chocolate.
A super important question about Wales. Malcolm, do you know how to order a beer or just say the word beer in Welsh?
No, I don't. Now I think about it.
It's a word. It's only got 4 letters, but they are all what do you call it? Not vowels.
Welshified.
It's not no vowels. Just 4 letters without vowels.
What's the word?
It's something. It's completely gobbledygook. It's from outer space somewhere. It's gobbledygook. Only consonants.
I'll tell you, the Welsh language it's CWRW, and I know that C is pronounced TH, so it's Thuru.
It's TWRW. Yeah, that's it.
Kaduru. The funny thing is, where I grew up in Philadelphia, all the suburbs were Welsh names. Like places we would say Bryn Mawr, Ballackinwood. And then somebody in the 2000s was like, you're pronouncing all those names wrong, right? It's Ballackinwood, not Ballackinwood. And, Bryn Mawr, or crazy shit like that. And Bryn Mawr just means high hill. And it's like, oh, well, it's one of the richest suburbs in America, High Hill, Somebody said, let's just use some fancy Welsh words here. And it's just like some of the most common words in Welsh. So, Wajeeh, are you eating that chocolate or are you eating cookie?
I'm eating the cookie dipped in tea.
Okay, that's a stemmed ginger cookie, or didn't I send you fairings?
Mm-hmm.
Cornish fairings also. That's what I have in my Baghdad mug. This is my Baghdad cookie jar. And I too am rocking Cornish fairings here this morning. So, I'm glad we're having a lighthearted day. We've reached 1,000 followers, so it's time to get down to business. But we're going to have a relatively short day because I know across most of America and Europe, these Cornish fairings are good. They're spicy. Throughout most of America, everybody's having a beautiful morning. Where I'm at, it's a beautiful morning. I was just showing Wajeeh that out my window is nice and bright where my Ukrainian Greenland American flag is flying. And we should all have a shorter day. So let's knock it out, see if we can get this done in 30 minutes and then go to questions. It's a slow news day. Let's take a look at the oil. What's the oil looking at, Wajeeh? Can you read that? It's hard to read.
It's up $5. Everything is up almost $3 to $5. Let me make it bigger for you guys.
Malcolm, you say it's a slow news day. What's up?
Holy cow! West Texas Intermediate's up $4. Brent North Sea crude is at 109. It's pushing, and Merbon's 108. Yeah. Well, I guess the oil markets aren't fooled anymore. China did not make them feel good. So,
well, everyone thought that Trump going to China is going to solidify the peace deal, which we were saying there will be no peace deals.
I got some news for you. It didn't work out that way.
And did I mention yesterday on this topic what's going on at the UN Security Council? Because the US has been bringing forward a resolution demanding Iran open the Strait of Hormuz. Obviously, countries want to support freedom of navigation, but very predictably, both Russia and China are threatening to veto. And today, the Chinese UN ambassador has come out and say this resolution won't pass. It's the wrong resolution at the wrong time. So the Chinese are protecting the Iranian hold of the Strait of Hormuz de facto. That's what this means.
Here's so much for being friends with Trump.
You can take down the oil. the problem with this story is, and this was maybe part of the reason the markets are not really responding the way that he wants. Waj, you can take the numbers down. It could be this. It could be as simple as the fact that Trump doesn't care whether the Strait of Hormuz opens or not. He has this fantasy in his head that the United States is making insane amounts of money and is producing more oil than the world can handle. And it's just a lie. He just doesn't understand any of this. And by continuing the blockade, he's really just bringing about the end, critically damaging the global economy. And I honestly, he doesn't give two fucks about what happens to the average American. He doesn't.
No.
He went from $2 billion to $6 billion in a year. What?
He said it publicly. He said it publicly to the news before he boarded his Air Force One going to Iran. A journalist said, "Are you keeping in mind the American middle class?" Or she said something about like the American income or American, and he goes, "No. I'm not. That's not in my. I don't care about that at the moment. All I care about is Iran not having a nuclear weapon.
Yes.
I don't care about how the economy is doing. I don't care about how the Americans are doing." He said it word for word. I'm not saying this. Like, this is not Wajeeh's opinion. This is Trump's opinion to the media.
Yeah, it's quite. I mean, the man doesn't care. And that leads me to believe that he thinks the blockade is doing something. And now it has an effect on Iranian oil exports. Iran exported 10 million barrels of oil in April. And right now in May, they're only out 5 million. But the oil is not leaving the ground, right? Yes, Jake.
And guess how many millions of barrels of oil Iraq exported in April?
How many?
20 million barrels.
Oh, yes. Khalas. Let it flow. Yeah, well, all that does is makes his Hesed-Shabi friends really rich.
Yeah.
Right? More Shaheed drones. They can, I mean, and you talked about this yesterday, that the Iraqi parliamentary elections solidified pro-Iran factions. Iraq is going to be taken over by a IRGC, Hesed-Shabi, Muqtada al-Sadr acolyte. And we're going to wake up and it's going to be the Islamic Republic of Iraq.
Malcolm, they're that bad that you'd want Muqtada al-Sadr acolytes running the show. These others are worse.
That's not good.
At least Muqtada is an Iraqi nationalist.
Very true.
The Iranians used him for years, but he's turned against them. So, and he's quite naughty anyway.
Okay, he's quite naughty. Okay, that being said, since it is Saturday, for the third day in a row, Israeli television has warned Israel is prepared for the resumption of war and it is imminent. I really think that at some point, and they're saying a U.S.-Israeli strike on Iran. And I really think that it's a matter of Netanyahu's just going to do it. He's just going to do it without us, and he's going to restart the war, whether we want to or not. What do you think?
Yeah,
it's so uncontroversial here. We don't have to talk about it anymore.
I think the Israelis are just pushing and saying, "Oh, what the hell? We're gonna do it," and then Trump will join them.
All right, let me
thump his chest.
Check that off my list.
The reality of the matter is, China failed to put any pressure on the United States to reach a peace agreement with Iran. Pakistan peace talks has failed. Any back negotiations regarding a memorandum of understanding, which is, let's talking about having peace talks. And that has failed. And all of that tells us, in addition to the Israeli information, in addition to Jacob yesterday telling us that he had the insiders in D.C. saying that the Washington is getting ready to attack, all of us tells us that this ceasefire is just for the United States to get ready to re-up their ships, to re-up their plan to position itself in the optimal position so they can make another attack, which is going to waste the rest of the stockpile. What purpose is to bring Iran, according to the Trump administration, back to the table? According to Trump,
that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Yeah, it's the opposite. And this is where Netanyahu will step in and bring us all back to war. And then I'll not ever get a day off. We'll be at this for the next 6 months. And then the U.S. economy will collapse. I bought gasoline today at a cheap place at $4.66, 16-cent rise from yesterday. And now, granted, it's in various places, $4.55, but it is consistently going up. And if West Texas Intermediate's at 105 today, on Monday, everybody's going to jump 25, maybe 10 cents to 25 cents per gallon. And don't forget, that swimming pool is emptying. All right, let's skip on to...
I ordered my EV already.
I'm going with a hybrid.
German made.
I'm going with a hybrid. What is it, a BMW? Mercedes?
Yeah.
BMW now.
Yeah.
Jacob is an adventurer.
You got an i8 or something like that?
What's that?
Is it a BMW i8? Or?
Just X1.
Oh, a X1. Oh, the baby one.
Yeah.
Hey, how you ever going to get out of that damn street in winter? You better just hire a tow truck or put a winch down your ramp. His street's steep. And I barely got out of it by the grace of God in winter with snow. And he warned me. He's like, well, you might not want to come down the street.
And you took off your wife, and she was with us enjoying herself, and it took you about 15 minutes to get.
So
we live in
more than 15
street
minutes,
everywhere, and Malcolm got lost.
10 minutes of that was just walking down that icy ass street. So you're going to have an EV. You may as well. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Okay, let's move on, shall we? A couple of other things. Lebanon and Israel are meeting in Washington again this weekend. No Hezbollah involved. So I don't know how that's going to go. Israel is calling for evacuations again from cities. And I like the way they couch it. For your own safety, please evacuate your home and region. Right? Yeah. Because, you know what? Hezbollah is going to come and raise our villages to the ground? No. Another point of contact is Russia is evacuating private military contractors and diplomats from Somalia right now. And the last time they did this was in the run-up to Iran, using the same... Now, here's the kicker. And I mentioned this on my Twitter feed, and some Emirati came out very indignant when I said that all of these PMCs would be leaving Mali and would be headed to the United Arab Emirates. And this guy's like, why? Why the UAE? And it's like, because I've been to Sharjah. It's like little Odessa, or not little Odessa, little Crimea, whatever you want to call it. And I go,
Sochi.
It's Sochi. It's full of Russians. That's where all the Russians go. And everybody goes, when they go from Mali, they go there to go buy watches and shit, right? And that's how they do it. So where did these guys fly from? Mogadishu, Somalia, to what destination? Sharjah.
Oh, really?
That airport is just a Russian terminal, okay? Because Sharjah is also one of the poorest of the Emirates, right? And they're just like, we'll take anybody. They never build any new infrastructure there. But for that Emirati who was so indignant, I guess he doesn't get up to Sharjah. He probably lives in Abu Dhabi or a nice part of Dubai. So that's weird that the Russians are sending forces up there. Question is something about to happen? Are they watching U.S. operations potentially against the Somali pirates? The Somali pirates got 3 oil tankers and 1 cargo ship brought into their ports and are offloading them. So it's possible we may shift our military operations to the Horn of Africa. As
Whereabouts are they located? Up at
that M
Madeira?
Town. What's the name? I'll get the name in a minute.
It's probably be Isle.
I'll tell you where. Not Barawe. No, this place. It's up north.
Yeah.
Maybe Safun or Barnabas.
Yeah, Isle. That used to be after Haradera was where it kicked off back in the day, which is further south, and then Isle up north, not far from Puntland or in Puntland.
Yeah, and in fact, Safun is right here. I'll give you guys a view of the map because this is, of course, our geopolitical cast. Safun is this island right at the top here. It's a peninsula. It comes out to it. This is Socotra Island off of Yemen, right?
Yeah.
And this is where ships going in the Gulf of Aden, going down to South Africa, going up. All you got to do is your little boats just run this triangle here, and you can get anything you want. And now that private military contractors have lost all of their weapons, nobody is on a ship that's being armed because the Iranian Revolutionary Guard hauled over the Chinese contract mercenary ship that has all the arsenals of private maritime contractors, their machine guns, their rifles, their ammunitions, and Iran seized them and brought them to Iran. I don't know. We talked about that a couple of days ago, didn't we? All right. Well, it's happening now. PMCs in Yemen don't have any weapons to stop boardings. All right. And they used to do that with regularity. I remember when that whole industry started, the private maritime companies, contracts were starting down there. And the big thing was, how do you get weapons? Well, the Chinese came up with a novel solution. We'll lease a ship to you. All of these companies can keep their own weapons lockers and ammunition there, and the ship will never enter into anybody's port. Right? It'll always be 12 nautical miles off, and you can pull over, get your weapons, get on to the merchant ship you're going to protect, and run up there and then come back. So that's happened. And then the last big non-China story is the United Arab Emirates, when they did their attack on Lavon Island, they apparently tried to talk the Saudis and the Qataris into attacking Iran also. And that's significant because the news is now reporting it that the Emiratis have a very militant view towards Iran. And the question is, how long can it last?
I said that before we ended the show yesterday as my last two points. The only country out of the 2 that joined the UAE was Saudi Arabia. But Qatar immediately denied any involvement, denied to get involved at all. The Saudi government got involved under the table, and then we found out later on. But the Saudi government in particular now is trying to walk down that attack because they're fearing any other retaliation from Iran. You know how the Saudi government in particular like to have 2 face. One face that for the public, and behind doors they have a totally different action. What do you guys think about you've interacted with the Saudi intelligence? Could you tell us about your experience? Yeah. What's your experience with the two-face with the Saudis?
Well, it's not the Saudi intelligence agencies, it's Saudi Arabians. All right. I don't care what the subject was. The only time I ever got it really straight was when I told you I was with what's his name? It wasn't Prince Naif. It was Prince Khalid bin Sultan bin Abdullah. who became the Minister of Defense. But when I was in Desert Storm and went to his Alibaba palace of a command post in the desert, I am not joking. I have never in my entire life been to a more luxurious diwan than that guy's command tent of his 3 brigades. And I think I might have described it to you. They have these M577 armored command posts, and they back them up into each other, and they drop their ramps. And one is the command communications for each Saudi brigade. And then they put a giant tent over it, right? So when you come in, there's armored vehicles in this cave, this Alibaba's cave. And then you walk in, they laid out millions of dollars of Persian carpets everywhere, pillows. It was luxurious, right? They put tapers on the walls. It was the color that I remember the most was not olive drab. It was red, red carpets, red. It was beautiful. It was literally, I call my Jewish commander that came with me that said, Alibaba's cave. And I go, no, that's 40 Thieves. This guy owns this shit. This is the king. This is the king. And the carpet was beautiful. And they had the two black Saudi gahwajis, right? The coffee maker guys. They have their pants legs rolled up, no socks, no shoes.
Many of those black guys used to be actually legal slaves for the royal family.
And so, oh my God, they opened up the tent for me, and it was like I expected to hear the music from Lawrence of Arabia when that tent opened up. And I'm like, oh, there, I'm sorry. I'm looking at this place. I'm like, and the general got a laugh out of that because I was being very formal, and my Jewish lieutenant commander, the Cook of Kuwait, who you can read about in my memoir, KOCH, Bill Cook, was like, oh, well, we need your help. And the general's sitting there, and I'm like, this guy graduated from Sandhurst in England. This guy is one of the top 5 royals. You cannot talk to him in this way. And he sat back and he says in Arabic, okay, you translate what he said. And I was all flower and diplomacy. Oh, General, we are mere explosive ordnance disposal mortals, and we beseech your help. And he started laughing. He says in English, that's not what he said. I was so stunned at this command post, right? So that time was the only time somebody was straight with me in a diwan. A diwan is an Arab parlor, right? I have a diwan in this house, as a matter of fact. That's all Syrian cushioned furniture, Saudi, backers and all. I have loads of stuff from all over the Middle East. And that guy, but every other time, they keep their true thoughts to themselves, and they fill you with platitudes, right?
The first king taught his kids one thing. When you give a word that's from the documentary, it should be like a sword. You don't return, you don't take it back. So they are all keep their thoughts to their mind, and then unless they have to say something. Go, Jacob.
Carly wants to
just Wajeeh, to your original question. I will say there's a lot of stuff I can't say. I can't be concrete. But in these countries, behind closed doors, there's a lot of stuff you can sort out.
Yeah.
But in public, it'll never come out. So, it is two faces. And that's just really the name of the game.
Well, I got to tell you, even in the diwans that I went to, I actually had an Emirati who was introducing me to a sheikh, the chief of intelligence, and he said, I know you speak Arabic. He says, but Arabic opens doors here for Westerners or an American. Arabic opens doors.
Yeah.
to an empty room. Which was his way of saying, if you speak Arabic, they won't trust you.
Yeah.
Understand? And I'm NSA, so I'm like, got my pen, got my copy paper. I'm ready to write down every word that you said and sit there and make you think I can't speak a word of it. Because it's when they speak to each other that they want your ignorance, right? And that's their way of gaining advantage. Or they speak real dialect, right? Real Khaliji dialect.
Yeah.
And so, but don't speak Arabic in some places.
In one of these countries, I was discussing Iran and, Iraq, the Iraqi Shia, etc. And I was like saying, but for instance, with Sistani and the Iraqi Shia, they don't subscribe to the Vilayati Faqih, like, the clerical rule as they have in Iran. And these guys would say, they were like, they're Shia. So they didn't give a rat's ass. That's crazy.
Well, okay, well, we've had those good memories. Let's go on to questions, because there really is nothing else that's going on. We got, everybody can get the read. We went over the readout from China yesterday. Doesn't look good for Taiwan. And, and microchips. China, Trump
Taiwan
promised
stole them, Malcolm.
What's
Taiwan
that?
stole them.
Stolen
stole
land.
The microchips. You heard the Brett Baer interview,
stealing
didn't you?
microchips.
Yeah, the Taiwanese have stolen them.
There's a question for you two from Marley's Williams. When you have time, I better not be coming to my house. 1 second.
Uh-oh.
What's up?
It's always something. Nobody important, just a state trooper. So let's see. Let's see if he gets out of his car. I may have to go off air. No, is he checking my license plate? The question is, they would like to know more regarding what Netanyahu's trying to accomplish in Lebanon. Is it a land grab? It is security driven, or simply Gaza's style of cruelty? How complicit is the U.S.? You guys take that for action. While the trooper has left. He took my license plate. You know what? I don't think he took my license plate. I own a 1984 classic Land Rover Defender 110. Which is the safari car, and it is fully safari rigged. And I bought it in Fujairah in the United Arab Emirates, and he was taking photos of it. I should put that for sale sign thing in there, because there's nothing more fabulous in this world. A Land Rover Defender, the old ones, right? The ones that look like a safari vehicle, right? They're fabulous because they only have 12 fuses. 12. Right, total. So that car will start if you roll it down a hill and jump the clutch, right? And it will go forever, but you'll be working on it forever. But 85% of all of those vehicles ever built are still on the road from 1947 to till 2014 is when the assembly line went offline. So I thought the cop was coming to arrest me. No, he's taking pictures of my Land Rover Defender. He's like, safari car, that's a man's car. I own 6. 3 of them are still.
How much does it cost to fill it up now?
3 of them are still in the United Arab Emirates, including a rare 6-wheel one. 2 are in Pittsburgh being rebuilt, including my car. And this is my late wife's car, the Gopher. My Land Rover, all Land Rover Defenders have to have a name. So the brown one is the Gopher, is named after the gopher in Caddyshack. You know, the one that dances. So, okay, enough about that. The cops are off my back. Please tell me too much.
Lebanon. It's a mix I think it's a bit of a mix. I have to say, obviously, all these years, Hezbollah has been building up in Lebanon, so there was definitely a legit threat towards Israel, and that's why in 2024 they started targeted assassinations of Hezbollah leaders. They started targeted assassinations of IRGC leaders in Lebanon, in Syria. They had the big pager attack also.
Yep.
So they were quite successful on that one, and
Most
that
recently, the
degraded
Zoom attack.
that degraded Hezbollah significantly. But what has happened now in this latest round, it seems to me more like, a domestic kind of consideration from Bibi to try to show that he's tough and to try to go and crush them and keep that whole narrative going that he's the one that will crush all Israel's enemies, etc., etc. Then you raise the issue of land grab. They are creating these so-called security zones which they had back in the 80s and which was actually how Hezbollah was born back in the day. And if you look at what's happening in the Palestinian territories, it is a land grab, and the supporters of his coalition on the extreme right wing, these settler parties, they want greater Israel, and they
Have
don't
you seen? I was
respect
literally
international
going
law.
to ask you this. Have you seen the patches that they sell in tactical shops in Israel of
No,
Greater Israel?
Yeah.
And
no,
what it is, it's the entire Sinai, the whole eastern side of Egypt, all of all of Israel, Palestine, southern Lebanon, Syria, the Arabian Peninsula. And they sell
The
these
northern
patches
part of the
as,
Arabian
and these
Peninsula.
guys wear them on their gear, Greater Israel, knowing it's going to antagonize a lot of people, and that's some bizarre reading from the Talmud that,
yeah,
that is not validated by anything in their religion. You can't
exactly.
say, oh, you can't say Moses was a refugee from Nasiriyah, Iraq, right? From Ur. I have been to Ur. The Ziggurat of Ur was on Al Nasiriyah fighter base, just south of the town of Nasiriyah. That's where Moses was from. And they were migrant workers who went across southern Iraq, Jordan, went down to Egypt and, had big families and worked as contract workers, right? And then left. The reading of these Greater Israel people is anywhere anybody that's in the Torah
Yeah,
is Israel,
yeah,
right? Including the missing 12th tribe all the way up in northern Aleppo. I mean, if that's the case, you may as well take half of central Ukraine.
yeah,
But it's a bizarre. I mean, it's just antagonizing people by
yeah,
pressing that. You already have enough trouble
Not
with
only
Gaza.
that, not only that, they are the Arabs for since the first Arab-Israeli war have been establishing conspiracy theories that
Yeah.
Israel is not there just to exist as a peaceful neighbor. They're there to expand and take over the rest of the Arab world. That is a thing I've been taught since I was born.
Mhm.
I was at every level of my life. And when Israeli soldiers go to these shops and buy them and wear them as an official soldier,
Uh,
and no one from the military makes them take it off, all that
you're,
signals is, oh shit, they are literally, and then they go into Lebanon and seize 10
where's
kilometers, which is about 30 miles or so. The Lebanese, the rest of the Arab world are going to be like, see, we told you,
where
we
where
told you.
where's my man Dan from Tel Aviv? I know he's on here. just come up on chat and give us an explanation. Why all of these own goals? Okay. Well, first off, it makes my job very hard defending Israel. I defend Israel. I don't defend Netanyahu and that crazy right-wing government. I think they are two entirely different things. And even though a lot of people don't want early elections and they want to get that feeling of safety and security, you can't do it by decimating the entire region around you.
And who really
furthering
likes
conspiracy theories.
Yeah, and who really likes this? It's in Tehran. Yeah. It's the IRGC. It makes that job much easier. They say, that's what we've always told you.
So let's move on. We've got a few more questions. Julie West says the generals gave testimony to the Senate a couple of days ago and said only 2 to 3 small fast boats are showing up in Hormuz Strait at a time. Can you comment and confirm? We've seen satellite imagery of 150 high-speed small craft operating in 20, 30 boat squadrons. And that's in the last week. Okay. So what I think you're saying is, oh, yeah, a couple of boats come out in the morning and, maybe we're seeing them in flotillas of 3. You better get on it because satellite imagery, you can't say, oh, those are the fishing boat fleet of Marseille coming out into the ocean to troll for sardines and tuna. I've seen that, right? I've seen 150 fishing boats come out in mass. I mean, but we're not in fucking Bilbao. We're not off Cadiz, Spain. We are not off Marseille or Oran or Algiers. When 150 goddamn boats show up in the Strait of Hormuz, most of them got guns. All right? Don't come out and tell me it's the sardine fleet and there's only 3 of them are Rev Guard. Really? That's pretty interesting. Then I guess we sank 7 sardine fleet boats the other day. It's not happening. These guys are coming out. I think the Iranians show strength very quickly, come out, putz around, go back, right? And just drive the Americans nuts. Before a strike aircraft could get off the aircraft carrier deck, these guys could come out, have a huffle up, a party, have a drink, take video, and head right back in. And now that he said that, the IRGC is going to come out with fresh video of 150 boats, playing music and that stuff. Okay, Kat says establish a good habit, do it for 30 days. I've been watching you for 80 days. What does that mean? You're addicted, but you're addicted to good technical information. P.S. My husband, reporter Mike Budinger, says hi. Hey, Mike, come join us.
Hello.
We got to give Wajeeh and Jacob a break here. And I think when we go to some of these other regions like Cuba and Ukraine, we can give Wajeeh a day off or Jacob a day off.
Yeah. I'm not here tomorrow because I have to go back to Copenhagen.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can find somebody else. Okay. We've already talked about the Strait of Hormuz and the Xi-Trump summit. Oh wait, I'm a couple of days behind. Whoa, somebody says, what do you think about the CSIS and Cadex rifles sent to Russia? That's interesting. That's Canadian Security and Intelligence Service. Cadex rifles are made in Canada, and Cadex frames are sold all over the world. Rifle guy here. I've got a whole smoke load of sniper rifles here in this house. And I don't have a Cadex rifle. I've seen Cadex rifles in Ukraine, shooting 3.75 Shytak, which is a insanely long-range bullet. I mean, the first time I ever fired it, my first bullet, dead center of mass at 1 kilometer. The bullet shoots itself. I mean, but if Russia's getting Canadian rifles, then you got to track down that source. Fortunately for us, nobody can get within sniper rifle range anymore because drones are just killing everybody. So it's not going to help those Russians. Okay, journalist from Mary E. Journalist Sarah Davis, who writes for The Hill, has an article that says, Trump says joint U.S.-Nigeria raid killed top ISIS commander. Does Nigeria have top ISIS commanders within its country? Yes.
Yeah.
I recall us shooting 12 cruise missiles and 3 out of 12 didn't even blow up. So, okay.
Again,
What's the top
I-
ISIS commander in Nigeria anyway? It's whatever guy you killed that day, right?
Exactly.
Whoever you want to call a top ISIS commander is a top ISIS commander. Let me see. We already talked about that. Jackie O, about if an active war starts, will Iran strike tit for tat? Yes. We go back to what day was it that we went into ceasefire? 49 or something like that. What countries are becoming desperate for oil or liquid natural gas, and what will they do? Japan, Korea, India. They are desperate for oil. And Korea is desperate for liquid natural gas to run the electronic manufacturing plants. What will they do about it? I don't know. It seems that Trump doesn't care.
Well, the thing is that when we say they're dependent, what we mean is more than 70% of their energy consumption, meaning their electricity, their cars, their plants, all run on fuel coming from Gulf states in particular. Oman sells 90% of its oil to China. The Japan gets 70% of its oil from the GCC. Korea gets more than 80 to 90% of its oil consumption from GCC as well. So when we say Korea, we're talking about South Korea. We're not talking about North Korea. And these countries are the countries where we get most of our technological import. That means that your cars, Toyota, Honda, Hyundai, all of those brands, Nissan, not Nissan, sorry, Acura, Lexus, all of your favorite Japanese brands that you are importing from, expect them to go way higher. And that's because they are putting immediate economic restrictions on their people, including please take shorter showers. Once these mandates become legal mandates by the government, where everyone becomes legally responsible for, I'm only able to take a shower for 5 or for less than 2 minutes or something like that, that's when you know shit hits the fan. And that's like where we're heading.
Yep. Concur.
Yeah.
Ryuzaki made a good comment. I was wrong. It's Abraham that lived in Ur, who left, now known as the town of An-Nasiriyah, and the ziggurat of Ur is on An-Nasiriyah fighter base, air base in southern Iraq. Beautiful structure. That was Abraham who went west, and Moses was in Egypt. Moshe was in Egypt. Thank you, Rue. Appreciate your correction on that. Nice to know. Dorinda asks, do you have a take on the bomb found in a dam at Alabama? That was an improvised explosive hand grenade, an old-style hand grenade, which somebody had put a modern-style fuse on it. I suspect it was found by diver inspection. I think they were just fishing and throwing hand grenades in the water. That's very common in hillbilly land. Do I think an attack on Cuba is imminent? I don't think so, but I think you're gearing up on it. Yeah, fishing with hand grenades. I used to see that off Beirut all the time. And our sonar guys were like, boom, boom, boom. It's like fishing off of Ras Beirut, then you get 3 fish, maybe 10 fish come up, 100 are killed underwater that don't come up. And don't fish with hand grenades, guys. Use a net. Oh, we answered that. Okay, wow, we went through most things. Trump just spent several days with the tech bros. How could he have not heard ad nauseum about the need to keep South Korea and Taiwan semiconductor industries going, which equals peace in the Strait of Hormuz? Again, Trump don't give a fuck. If it's not about him making money, he won't do it. He told Taiwan, who is producing all of these chips, told them they're stealing our chips. It's like, we don't even make them. You killed the CHIPS Act. These factories in Ohio that were going to blow Taiwan off the map in chip manufacturing, Trump killed because it was authorized by Joe Biden. And so done. And now he looks at, he takes the Chinese Communist Party line that Taiwan is stealing something from you. Yeah. And now, next thing you know, it'll be freaking invasion 2026.
And he said Taiwan had only developed because his predecessors didn't have a clue. So he wants to crush.
The predecessors starting with Harry fucking Truman. Let's go through that list, shall we? Harry Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Richard Nixon, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, did I put Nixon up there early? That was too early.
Yeah.
Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford. Carter, Ronald goddamn Reagan, all right, who's supposedly their god, Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton, Barack, George W. Bush, Barack freaking Hussein Obama,
Herbert Walker Bush.
Oh, George, I even left off the dad. He's got an aircraft carrier named after him. Yeah, all of those guys sucked.
They didn't have a clue.
Defending democracy. Man, the stupid is so thick amongst these people. That's why they don't watch this program. Because they don't understand it. I don't understand these presidents you're talking about. They were all awful. Oh, they don't even know where Taiwan is. They think Taiwan. I'm not shitting you. They think Taiwan is the place with all the casinos that was in the movie Black Panther. Right? By the way, I'm not saying that I've ever been to Macau, but I've never been to Macau. These people are dumb. They're dumb.
Yeah.
And they don't know what they're doing. So the tech bros aren't going to help. It is not going to help when Elon Musk is high off his ass at a state dinner.
You think Trump was hanging out with the tech bros? The tech bros were not even hanging out with Trump. They're not. Like two of the tech bros, which was Elon Musk, and then the NVIDIA guy, were was an Air Force One, and the rest of the tech bros were not even in the same plane. And when they're in the same plane, the tech bros are not hanging out where Trump is hanging out because he has security service. He has other
Eric and Don Jr. and hoping to get illegal activities in Bitcoin. Yes.
I have a question. You want to see what superpower harakiri looks like? I'll show you.
I happen to be living.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
Oh, is that the picture of them with
that's superpower harakiri, right?
I don't ever want to hear them say that Democrats are communists ever.
No.
There you go. And not one of them. They're all American.
Yeah.
Except for the guy in the middle. He's the guy from Huawei, right?
NVIDIA.
Yeah.
NVIDIA. And China, by the way, doesn't want those NVIDIA chips. They want the Chinese to use their own indigenous H200 chip. So they may not buy those chips at all. And you know what? And if you got 500 factories creating Chinese chips, they're going to improve. Okay, those guys are literally 10,000 monkeys with typewriters writing out Shakespeare. No, the Chinese know how to harness labor. And when they steal intellectual property, they're probably reverse engineering it. They can get away with a pretty good chip, and then fucking AI will design an awesome chip for them, their own AI. We are shooting ourselves in the foot. I hate every minute of it. Now I'm so frustrated. I'm going to go out and weed dandelions or something to get this out of me. We did not get a short program, but everybody has the benefit of our infinite wisdom. So I want to thank everybody for coming to today's episode. If you are watching this on YouTube, please come over to Substack and subscribe. Hey, listen, Wajeeh, myself and Jacob are actually losing Substack subscribers. Please, right now, go up to that rondelle and press the Black Man Spy rondelle. Up will pop Jacob Kaarsbo, Wajeeh Lion. Do not press remove. Just press subscribe if you see it. We want to get Waj over 10,000. Jacob's over 10,000.
Over 11,000.
I'm trying to get to 100,000, and we have actually dropped 1,000 people since the day Trump said the war was over. It went like this. And people actually believe that the war's over, and you're all going to wake up, and I'm going to have 5,000 new subscribers the day Israel attacks Iran, which might be tomorrow or the next day, who knows, and we're back at war, and you're going to go, oh, well, fill us in. And I'm going to go, you missed 40 days of being warned about this, right? So share with your friends, take heed of the warnings. Hey, go out, have a nice day, everybody. I've got a beautiful day here. I'm going to go into my Asian garden. I'm going to take the weed whacker, and I'm going to pretend like I don't have to hear anything about the Strait of Hormuz. But I'll be listening to a podcast.
Enjoy your Saturdays.
Enjoy your Saturday. All right. See you all tomorrow.
See you on Monday.
Except for you, Jacob. Go away.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.
Bye.